What's up, guys? Another episode of New Stream. And today we're going to be talking about Looksmaxxing in 2025, right? How to get the best, most out of your looks. And yes, this is a topic very popular with men, especially young men, because, a lot of men are trying to do the best they can to get what they want out of dating, right? And it's not easy, right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, it was easier for me because it wasn't easy for me the whole like there were some things that I really struggled with, just like everyone else, right? So essentially, looks maxing is trying to maximize what's in the name, right? Maximize your looks so that you could become more attracted to the opposite sex. And yeah, I think you should. It's really important that you look good and you put in some effort, right? But then as with everything in dating, it kind of takes a dark turn when it becomes an obsession or a hyperfixation on how you look, right? And I'm going to explain why young men, especially, have all these kind of tactics and strategies that seem unhealthy or weird to look good. And, we've seen examples of all that, and then the women come in and make fun of us and all that. And what, so first, why so we discussed what looks maxing, excuse me. Let's discuss what things that guys usually do to look max, right? We have the gym, right? So the gym, one of those things is pretty basic, right? And I'm going to get into how I looks maxed over the years, but later on. But for the most part, guys go to the gym, right? It's pretty no brainer. Now, what they do with that information, who knows? Because there's so much information out there about the gym, and most of it is very niche, kind of like micro, super, just information that isn't useful, right? Because going to the gym is pretty basic. It's just meet your macros, work out 3 to 5 times a week, work out the compound movements, and get some sleep, right? And that everything else is just extra information. And all that. But we're gonna get into more in depth and all these disciplines and all that stuff to get better looking, right? And we have people that their haircuts, and obviously, everyone has haircuts. I need one too. Look at me. I'm all. Yeah, like Fred says, dressing well, that's a big one. Right, I even have a whole guide on that, dressing well and all that. So, um, and we have other things like like your basic hygiene, like your eye, besides your hair, your eyebrows, your teeth, your breath, your shaving, your body, manscaping, more or less, that's what they call it. And all that, how you smell, essentially all these little things that I thought that men were doing anyway, but apparently a lot of men even struggle with that. I've heard stories of PUAs that hold camps or training or boot camp, sorry, and a lot of it is just telling men how to take care of them, like actually have how to shower, right? And it's crazy that that's the bar is that low where men don't know how to even take care of themselves. So we're gonna get into all of these things, sleep and all that. Like, sleep is tough. Like, people think that sleeping is easy. No, it's not, because we stay up late all the time. We don't get our 8 hours or 6 to 8 hours. We drink coffee or caffeinated drinks at times we aren't supposed to, right? We look at screens constantly all day. We worry about stuff. All that stuff affects your sleep and all that. So looks maxing isn't exactly easy, right? I would say the easiest part of dating is the rejection part. A girl looking at you and being like, "No thanks." That's the easy part. The preparation is all the hardest part, right? And your looks maxing, right, is part of what makes you attractive to men. Like your ability to maximize your look. Sorry, men, women. Sorry, women. Um, but it's not as easy as you may think, right? It is the bulk of the work, making yourself physically attractive. Um, Obviously there's other things that you have to do, right? But like just going up to a girl and getting rejected or going on a date and getting rejected or get ghosted, all that is patience and acceptance, right? But the bulk of the work is putting work into yourself, right? And you'll realize that it really wasn't so much about looks maxing as what all these things teach us about ourselves and what truly it means to be attractive as a man, right? You realize like it's really a big puzzle and you got to put all the pieces together. And anyone that's telling you it's one thing or another is lying to you, right? It's just men throwing out their insecurities to you so you can fall for, so you can be part of their misery, their club of misery, their their club of miserable men, right? So you have the guys like it's all about money, then you have guys who are like, it's all about looks, or oh, it's all about like game. And I'm like, no, dude, it's everything. Everything comes together to make you attractive, right? And your looks are a huge part of what makes you attractive. Don't let anyone tell you yes or no, right? Yes, there's fat guys that get women, right? They're just more rare than ever these days because now that women have access to lots of men, they have their choice, and women will always default to good-looking men, right? Because most of the filters funnels that we use that women use to find men are physical first, like dating apps, right? Facebook, social media, Instagram, all that crap. It's all they have is visual, right? You can show videos of you doing cool stuff, right? But visual is always going to be right now the most, or not always, but for right now is the most popular way to get um women to notice you, right? So we have to work on that. Is it everything? Absolutely not, right? But it is step one. And you have to do the best with what you got. And a lot of guys, since they're not handsome men automatically, right? They give up, right? And the sad part is that a man's potential is hardly realized. You have to look at yourself and be like, maybe if I lost the weight, maybe if I got a certain haircut, maybe if I cut this beard, maybe if I shaved my head instead of having this patchy hair on my head, or got hair implants or whatever, um, I could look much better and feel more confident, all that stuff, right? But they never ask themselves those questions. That makes it kind of sad for me, right? So, okay, let's talk about the healthy things that guys can do to looks max, right? And I will tell you my take on them. I asked Grok, and Grok gave me 10 things, right? And I'm going to give you my take and how I interpret it, or like what really goes on with this facet of making yourself more physically attractive, right? And you guys are welcome to weigh in. You guys are welcome to super chat, like the video on the way in, and all that stuff. And we will let's get the show on the road, right? Okay, so optimize nutrition, right? Grok says eat a balanced diet rich in lean proteins, chicken, fish, tofu. Okay. Healthy fats, avocado, nuts, olive oil, and complex carbs, quinoa, sweet potatoes. Aim for micronutrient density, sure. Improve clarity and energy level. Hydration is key. 34 liters of water. Okay. All right. So, yes, all good information. I'm not sure about the tofu. Don't know much about that, but it's just not something that I hear bodybuilders talking about or anything. So, uh, here's the thing, tracking your calories is hard. It's a pain in the ass to pull out your phone and just everything you eat all the time, right, is putting in your your freaking the size of the egg and the weight of the steak and the amount of rice and what type of rice. Like it's a headache, right? Every time. And then you go out to eat and then you forget, oh, what did I eat? And then you have to put that in. And it really is, yes, it's necessary. I think you should do it for 2 weeks just to so you can get gauge how much you're going over your actual like or under your actual needs, right? And it's tough because I did it for a month and I realized like, wow, it's really hard to get this amount of macronutrient, or it's really hard to get this in. And you realize, like, wow, at least I know my problem areas, right? But for the most part, it's most people are not going to be able to do this because it's just a headache, right? I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that on a balanced probabilities, you won't have the just the you don't want to deal with the headache of just opening your phone or your laptop to just put in stuff, right? It gets annoying after a while. So this is what I did. I just memorized the 5 foods I eat the most. That's the first thing I did. So like eggs, uh, a steak, chicken thighs. I love chicken thighs. A, a protein powder and rice. Those foods, right? And I kind of memorize what the macronutrients are in those, so that I don't have to open my phone. In my mind, I'm like, okay. And then number two, what I did is that I just focused on protein, right? It is for guys, especially skinny guys like me, the hardest thing to do is to get the amount of protein that you need, right? And really what helped me was just eating a pound of steak often, as much steak as I could get down that day, right? A pound of steak is what, like 110 grams of protein, something like that, right? If you eat that and then maybe a couple eggs or a protein shake with 50 to 100 or 50 grams 50 to 70 grams of protein, which is like 2 scoops um of whey protein, then you'll meet your protein needs, right? And that's really what the problem is. The reason so many people just don't look good in the gym is that they're just not getting their protein, enough protein. So focus on protein, focus on the foods that are protein dense, like cottage cheese, mostly red meat, right? First, and then you have your cottage cheese, throw it in a couple eggs in there, chicken, Greek yogurt, things that are protein dense. And what you'll notice is that how hard it was to just get your protein needs met, right? It's much easier to focus on protein because another thing about protein is that it's satiating and it keeps you full, right? So when you eat that steak, you're not hungry for trash. You're not fighting urges to eat anymore because the protein is inherently satiating, and out of every all the nutrients that you eat, protein burns the most calories to digest it. So, you're doing yourself a favor by focusing on protein, right? But that's just my take. You guys may have your own methods. You guys may decide, hey, this is what I do. This works for me. But for me personally, focusing on protein and memorizing the protein content of the foods I eat the most, and I got a feeling like I have a shake which I memorized the exact macros of it. More importantly, protein, right? I had a shake where it was like 2 scoops of whey protein. That's about 50 grams of protein, right? Which is a lot. Um, 4 eggs. Each egg is about 7 to 8 grams of protein, right? So let's just round it off to 25 grams of protein, right? So that's 75 there. And then a cup of milk. Milk doesn't have much. I don't even remember. I haven't even memorized milk. Add some coffee in there. Banana for taste. Cocoa powder, or yeah, cocoa powder. And what else did I add? Peanut butter, which is also doesn't have a lot of protein. It's more fat than anything else. And boom, I have a shake that has like 80 grams of protein. And then that same day, I would eat like zero point 0.8 grams, or zero point 0.8 pounds of steak, which was like 80 to 100 grams of protein. I think sirloin is what I usually had. It's the cheapest cut. Um, and boom, I met my protein needs for day just between a shake and a steak, right? And then, you have your rice for carbs and all that stuff. And yeah, that worked. And it worked for me, and I got pretty healthy and in shape because of that. Kind of like, I didn't eat steak every day, but I just kind of in my mind, I had a soft calculation of how much protein, and it helped me, and it got me ahead. Right now, you guys may be okay with tracking everything, cool. Or you guys may do the meal prep where you have 5 containers of food and you know exactly what's in there. Hey, that works for you too, right? So, yeah. Yeah, Dark Knight Dev with the $10. You get one of these, sir.
Thank you so much, best friend!
Dark Knight Dev with the $10. Thank you so much, my friend. Haircut, V-taper, flat stomach, 10 to 15% body fat, white teeth, cologne, clothes that fit your body in a specific look, no name brands, eat more fruit, veggies, water, so she can enjoy worshiping you. Yeah. Um, guys, when you do these things, this is a demonstration of how you're valued to women, right? In general, like you're showing women that you give a shit. And in a culture that of people, especially dating, that don't give a shit but want are entitled for everyone else to give them sex and relationships and love, right? It's gonna get to a point where you're gonna do all this work, and then people on the internet are gonna be like, "It's not worth it, bro." I'm like, "Did you even shave this morning, bro? Did you like what cologne do you have?" Right? What's your body fat percentage? And that's what's gonna start. You're gonna start realizing that the bulk of a lot of men's problems is that they don't put the effort into themselves. And when you don't put the effort into themselves, why would anyone else? Right? Why would your family, friends, some chick you want to bang? Why would any of them put any effort into you? Right? And that's the thing here. It's very important that you guys do. It's good for your mental health too. Just like when giving a shit, right? There's gonna be days when you're sad or unmotivated, but like shaving, getting ready, combing your hair, looking good. Even though you're sad, you're still gonna communicate to yourself like, hey, I'm worth it. I matter. I'm important, right? And never get into the rut where like you get sad and just let yourself go. Like fight that fight. It's sometimes it's an uphill battle, but you have to care. If you don't care, then that's when it's a slippery slope, right? So thank you, Dark Knight Dev, for the $10 super chat, man. All right. So right now, guys, we have 23 of you in here, and then 142 on X. Please like the video. Um, all right. So we talked about nutrition, strength training. Okay, so this one's very broad, and we're not gonna get too much of it. You guys know what you got to do, right? The internet is full of information about lifting weights. Like we don't have to get into this. I will say, for me personally, I try to balance my physique, and I understand that the most sexy physique to women is a V taper, like Dark Knight Dev was saying. Get the V taper. Focus on that. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, but strength and this matters, right? But yes, looksmaxxing is for women. It's for women to get us to look so they can think we're hot, right? And there's nothing hotter to a woman than a guy with a big, solid back, a shelf chest, and lats and that V taper, right? That's what's gonna set you apart from men. A lot of men are going to the gym and they're strong, they got big arms, but they got a gut. Or a lot of men are gonna have a V taper, but they're all thin, like they're skinny. They look like like a shirt on a hanger, right? Um, you have to fill out your physique, right? Stop looking in the mirror and thinking you're good enough. That's not. I'm not saying hate your body, right? But start looking at where the problem area is. And that's what happens. Guys step into the gym and they lift and they don't they just stop there, right? Give me 1 second, guys. This light's bothering me. 1 second. All right. Okay. Sorry, that light behind me was bothering me. But yeah, they just stop caring, right? Like, hey, I can bench 225, and I'm like, okay, cool, dude. But like your back is weak and you have that anterior when the shoulders are rotating forward, you look weird, you know? Start working on your back now too. Balance your physique. It's healthy first off. You don't want to have an unbalanced physique. Number two, like you remember there's so many things besides weakness that we're fighting as men. Bad posture, right? Like a lot of us sit at computers or drive a lot, right? So we're gonna have a weird looking posture. So if you work your back muscles so your posture is better, right? And that will improve your physique. That's why I do back almost every day or pretty much every time I go to the gym, I do some back workout, right? Because I sit sometimes or I drive sometimes, and I want posture that makes me look like I'm standing forward, confident, right? And it is what it is. Um, your back, things that make you look more masculine, more presence. Work on those, right? Like look at your physique and like, am I really is this enough? Like I'm not saying that this should stop you from talking to women, right? But at the same time, as men, we chase excellence, right? And excellence isn't looking at something and being like it's good enough. Is there room for improvement? Yes, but you have to have a healthy relationship with it, self-improvement, right? It should be like I'm not satisfied, but I'm also not neurotic either. And that's what looks maxing is becoming. It's becoming like neurotic, but it's just like, hey, I could be better. I'm not gonna freak out about being better, but I could be better, and I'm gonna take steps, small, reasonable steps to get better. So, yeah, um, yeah, like obviously, there's physiques that you look up to. Like, I'll be honest, the physique that I looked up to was Michael B. Jordan's physique in Black Panther, right? I thought that hey, the ladies love that physique. I saw it when I was in the theaters and I saw the social media acclaim over his body. So I was like, hey, that's a body I want. Obviously, he probably did steroids, but it's always good to strive and all that. So it's just like, yeah, like why not? And that I think the part of going to the gym that a lot of guys miss is the feel like balancing your physique, right? You got skinny arms, you're gonna have to, you're genetically not gifted, you're gonna have to start working more on arms, right? You got a pencil neck, then you're gonna have to like, work on your upper back muscles, right? Um, and that's all it is, guys. It's just being smart and tactful when you're in the gym, right? Obviously, you want to focus on the compound lifts, right? But once you got those down and the movement's correct, start filling out your physique and doing it correctly. Because really, once you do that, right, you're just gonna be elevated to basically a god amongst men, right? Like most guys get in the gym, they do their shit workout, and they don't get the right protein, they don't get the right sleep, and they're on a treadmill of no improvement for years. They just like the feeling of going to the gym, right? They don't even track their workouts, none of that. They just go to the gym and go home. But you can be different. You can be like, hey, I'm going to go to the gym. Where the fuck am I lacking, right? And you look at your body, you're like, hey, I haven't seen my abs in a couple years. I need to cut down on this. Okay. Or hey, my arms are looking skinny. I'm not gonna obsess over it. I'm not gonna stop talking to girls because my arms are skinny. But you know what? Let me just start curling every day and getting even more protein. Maybe I'm not getting enough protein. Right? Or, hey, I'm going to the gym and I'm tired. I'm just gonna chug some pre-workout or chug a bang and then work through it. I'm like, no, dude, get sleep. Like you can't energy drink your way into a healthy physique, right? You're going to burn out. Your body's not going to recover. So, see, you need to focus on sleep, right? Yeah, like Fred says, avoid injuries. Ego lifting is so dangerous, guys. Like ego lifting will nothing will stop your gym career faster, slow you down than ego lifting, right? A lot of you guys love deadlifting super heavy. I get it. I was young too, right? But after a certain age, what do you get out of a deadlift, right? What do you get out of it? It doesn't even make you look good. It just, it's an impressive lift. You look cool doing it, obviously. I'd say when you're young, take pictures of you deadlifting your max all the time. It will always look cool. You'll look strong, muscular. I have a picture of me deadlifting and it looks amazing, right? But, um, you're increasing your risk of injury, and that's going to take you at the gym. And you don't want to do that to yourself, right? Be smart. When you get to my age, like 36, I don't ego lift at all. I lift intelligently. I lift enough to leave one or two in the chamber, and then stop my set, wait a minute, and then go back. And then on days that I haven't gotten good sleep, but I'm still at the gym, let's say anything up below 5.5 hours of sleep, I don't go to the gym. I just say, call it. I'm like, I should have had more sleep discipline, or let me just get some rest. And then 6 hours plus of sleep, I go normal. I depending on how I feel, I have a coffee, right, and go to gym and lift intelligently, right. So, yeah, okay. So that's what I did for strength training. Essentially, the exercises. My gym routine is upper lower rest, upper lower rest rest. Right. So weekends I don't lift. Gyms are usually packed on weekends, or I just use the weekends to catch up. If I missed a workout, on Monday when I go in, I do machine press machines, right? I don't. I had a shoulder injury that's almost fully recovered. I'm gonna give it like maybe 1 or 2 more weeks. I've had it for like 3 or 4 months and it sucks, but it's recovering now. I'm slowly pushing more and more weight. And really, I think my chest feels even bigger or better now that I started doing machine presses and stuff like that instead of the bench, right? I don't know. I don't know. I want to go like incline bench press is my favorite lift, but I haven't done it for 4 or 5 months because of this injury, right? So I just take it easy. But I do feel like my chest feels more developed, right? Um, and some of the ladies are noticing. Salsa and I have noticed and have told me about it. So things are good, right? So I do that, and then I do T-bar rows, incline T-bar rows, like the back machine. I go kind of heavy on those, right? Because I'm really trying to balance my like I've always had a decent back, but I stopped deadlifting like 3, 4 years ago, right? So I personally are trying to replace back exercises with other ones. And T-bar rows for me, it's an excellent. Um, and I tend to go heavy on those, right? Not heavy enough to hurt myself, but heavy enough to like I want to feel, I want to feel a good level uh of work being done back there, right? Um, Overhead press. I again I had that shoulder injury, so I take it really easy on those. I do machine overhead press. Um, yeah, so I do that. Uh, I do so I do let me see what else. I don't do lateral raises again because of the shoulder injury right now, but I used to do those too. Um, yeah, just mostly machines now, but uh, they're great for development and all that stuff, right? And then, I have my problem areas like my shoulders, my rear delts always have been a problem area for me. I work them out all the time. So maybe I need to work those out more and all that stuff. But yeah, it's just about balance, guys. You want your physique to be balanced if you want to look smacks in 2025, right? It's great to have big arms, but if you have a bird chest, like, or if you have a big barrel bird chest, right, but you have flimsy arms, or you have a great back, but you have these flimsy legs, right? Like balance is the most, right? Don't ignore the things that, don't get in your ego and think that because you have good arms that that's enough, right? Constantly look at problems in your body and in a healthy way be like, yeah, I could do more glute workouts and get yourself a nice ass because women love nice asses more than you think, right? I That was one of my biggest surprises as I started hooking up with women as a young kid or as a young lad is that women like ass. I've been spanked by women so many times. It's pretty ridiculous. I have been spanked by women more times than I have spanked them outside of the bedroom. Outside of the bedroom. So, yeah. Trying to think what else. For lower, I start with I either start with Romanian deadlifts or single leg press on a machine, right? I love single leg exercises. You know, um, for some reason, I just feels better. Feels like I'm doing more work. Romanian deadlifts I like because it's good for your glutes, and as you get older, you don't want a flabby ass, right? You want a nice strong ass. You're gonna need it, especially if you guys like having sex with women. Like a good ass will help you for thrusting and all that stuff. And it balances it's great for your back to have a strong glutes and all that for your posture, right? You'll fill out clothes better. It may be a problem if your ass is too, you know, big. It's gonna be hard to get in jeans or find the right side of jeans, but that's a good problem to have, right? Get your ass in gear. Like make sure your glutes are good, your legs, calves. You don't want skinny chicken legs. You want something, and it doesn't have to be huge, right? Because that's the problem here. We think that going to the gym, being huge is best. I'm like, no, it's balance. You want a balanced physique, and that takes time, and that takes self-reflection to be like, hey, I really don't have this body part that I need to be developed, right? And that will help you. So, yeah. All right. So, we talked about strength training. All right, skincare routine. I don't really do much for skincare. However, um, this is one of those weird things where it's just there seems to be so much snake oil in terms of skincare, at least from my perspective. Guys swear by things, and other guys, you don't need anything. I just think like for me, shaving is where my problem area, right? I get like bumps and all that stuff because my hair is really coarse and it curls in on itself. I don't know much about beards. I usually like, keep this 5 o'clock shadow and then I shave and then back to the 5 o'clock shadow. I look best with a five o'clock shadow. So that's what I do, is that I don't really stress about beards. However, for skincare, I've been lately using this sugar scrub crap that my mom got me that I found in my bathroom, and I just, I'm like, oh, I might as well use this because it's been sitting in my bathroom for a long time, and I use it, and like, guess what? It's like there's less dead skin on my face. I use it while I'm in the shower, and I scrub it, and it feels. It's not that my face feels smoother; I just feel like there's less dead skin. I'm like, hey, maybe there's something to it, right? So I guess like try things. Everyone's skin is different based on your ethnicity, age, what you do. But I would say like your diet is gonna help you a lot here, right? You're eating shit diet. Don't expect your skin to look good, right? If you're inside all the time, don't expect your skin to look good. But if you also get too much sun, like you're at the beach 24/7, your skin's going to be a little bit weird too, rubbery and all that stuff, right? So yeah, just think about like, hey, skincare starts with your diet and it starts with sleep. It starts with drinking water, drinking not, like avoiding alcohol as much as you can. I know some of us like alcohol. I like alcohol, but I just drink it once in a while, maybe once a week at most, right? I try not to drink too much, and all that, right? The cool thing about being a guy is that the wrinkles, the imperfections make us more attractive. It makes us look weathered, and women kind of like that, gruff look a lot of the time. So, you don't have to get too feminine. You don't have to worry about every little blemish on your skin, right? But at the same time, if you got like pimples, if you got ingrown hairs and all that stuff, take care of that, right? If you need to go to get a facial, from a professional, go do it. They have good information on you, and obviously they're gonna try to sell you stuff and all that, but just tell them, hey, I have ingrown hairs. What do you think is best? And um, you know, there's so many tutorials. I'm not gonna tell you guys how to take care of your beard. You guys probably um already know how to do that on all that stuff. But like for me personally, I don't really have much I do to my skin. I focus on sleep, diet, and try not to stress too much. And my genetics help me a lot. Like my dad still has great skin at his age, and my mom. So maybe I'm blessed in that department. I would say for us brown guys and black guys, I would say your lips require a little bit more care. So have some lip balm. You don't want to kiss girls with some like crusty lips. Especially when it's cold out. Uh, you want to always take a look at yourself before you walk out on a date. Like, you may have hanging dead skin, or you may have a pimple that popped out. You don't even know. Maybe you want to pop it and clean it up or something. Um, you know, yeah, just, quick check before you go on a date. You don't want to be uh have this detail, this piece of dead skin hanging on your face. You didn't even catch it, right? Um, let's see what else. Yeah, so you have to look at your skincare based on your race, and all that, and your background and your lifestyle. So think about those. Yeah. So we got a $5.01 super chat. You get one of these, sir.
Thank you so much, best friend!
Dark Knight Dev with a $5.01 super chat. He says, mobility, strength, and cardio, such as running or jump rope to build a win will help you long term. Do a leg exercise every day to build testosterone. Yeah. Yeah, leg your leg muscles are your biggest muscles in your body, right? Besides your glutes. Well, glutes you can kind of say it's part of your lower body, right? And that's gonna produce a lot of testosterone if you work them out, right? So might as well, don't neglect your legs. Also, cardio is really important, guys. Don't let anyone tell you cardio isn't. Um, if you want to fuck for a long time, you're gonna have to get your heart rate up often, right? I think the problem is that there's some people that are obsessive about cardio, like there are people that do marathons or just run for a living, and I'm like, yeah, that may be a too much, right? That may be like wear you down and make you look skinny and even age you, right? But for the most part, a little bit of cardio ain't gonna kill you, and it's just pretty good for you, right? It's swimming, running, jump rope, and also like it's good to get the blood pumping. I run about 5 minutes before every gym session. I go for a run or a bike, and like it's not like it's not much, right? But it's good to feel, the blood pumping and, loosened up because I don't know, and it wakes you up. It gets me kind of in the zone, right? And if you had a little bit of caffeine, it circulates that caffeine through your body, to your brain faster. So yeah, so yeah. And we got thanks for the super chat, Dark Knight Dev. And we got a $2 chat for super chat. Keep sharing notes. Thank you, sir. You get one of these.
Thank you so much, best friend!
Spot takes with the $2 first super chat. Keep sharing notes. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, I like doing this. I like sharing what I know. And right, this is not a show about do what I do, right? I'm just saying like this is my strategy. It may help you guys, right? I already said just now, like, hey, it depends on your race. Like your skin really depends on your race. Like I have problems with ingrown hairs, right? But if I shave less often, I shave like every 3 days, and really I don't have much problems with ingrown hair anymore, right? It really was like when I was in the military, I had so many problems, right? But now I realize, like, oh, I do have ingrown hairs, but it's rare or they go away. Like it's just not a big deal. And you got to prepare your face and all that stuff. And um, yeah, so you need to find other men that are your race and lifestyle and ask them how do they take care of their skin, right? It's really, you got to do. I can't spoon feed you everything. I don't know everything about everything. So yeah. So thank you for the $2. Um, okay, so skincare routine. Um, Sleep 7 to 9 hours. Yeah, this is the hardest one. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think now in the age of internet, X, social media, dating apps, video games, all that cool stuff, we want to prolong these fun activities as much as we can, and we let them eat into our sleep time, right? Because all the cool, interesting stuff happens in the middle of the night or late at night. And the truth is that I don't think anyone really is a night owl, right? That's just me though. But it's really hard, right? Like you can set an alarm on your phone or on your Alexa, right? And and you will still ignore it just to play video games late or that stuff or watch anime or fuck or whatever you want to do at night, right? But the truth is you got to get sleep, man. And you have to fight these urges and it's not easy. It's one of the hardest things to do, but there's nothing more amazing than about having 3 good nights of rest in a row. That stuff will really like it puts you in a good mood. Um, it makes you more effective at work, at everything you do, more alert. The list goes on. Like you need to sleep. It's hard, right? But I will say personally, um, the number one thing that made me kind of helped me sleep was getting that Fitbit to track my sleep, right? Because there's nothing just like when you track your diet or you track your workouts, or you track whatever, it really like numbers don't lie. They look at you right back and you're like, hey dude, you got 5 hours and 14 minutes of sleep. And it's been day 3 of you getting that much rest. Bro, you are not getting the rest you need. Right. And it's like that wake up call where you see your sleep score and it's just like absolute like dog shit sleep score. And you're just like, man, look at all these numbers, right? I suck. So now you do something about it, right? If you don't track it, you'll be able to trick yourself. I'm like, no, I'm just, I just need coffee and you move on. But if you track your sleep, um, you at least get a solid number that you could be like, fuck, man, I'm just not sleeping right. So yeah, numbers don't lie. But that's helped me. Maybe you guys have other ways of doing it. Um, Obviously try to avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. I know a lot of guys you work night shift or you have to work second shift and all that stuff, but try to avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. Cycle off caffeine. Like it's not easy. I think that's one of the hardest things to do is quit caffeine because you get dependent on it, right? I don't recommend going cold turkey. It'll mess you up and it'll make you pretty much useless for 2 days. I would say start weaning yourself off. I would do what I do is that after 1 or 2 months of caffeine, maybe a month is better. I start drinking decaf, right? So to maintain that kind of like uh caffeine, I don't know what the chemicals call it. I did so much research on this, but I forgot because if once you remove any caffeine ingestion, right, the blood vessels in your brain are going to, I think it's either expand or constrict, and that's what causes the headache. It's the blood vessels constricting, right? Um, and if you have a decaf, it still has a little bit of caffeine, but it makes that effect lighter. You'll have a super slight headache. And then after a week of decaf, then you go cold turkey for a week. And that's healthier. You won't have these splitting headaches. You'll be able to function. And essentially, like sometimes quitting caffeine can have really bad effects on you too, right? Like you can get sick. You can um so many bad things can happen if you quit cold turkey too fast, right? So I would say, me personally, I recommend going on decaf for a couple days, maybe 3 4 days, and then going cold turkey after that, just so you don't shock your brain with like taking away a substance that it's dependent on, right? So yeah, we got Dark Knight Dead with another $10, sir. You are very generous today. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much, best friend!
Okay, Dark Knight Dev for the $10. Cut your toenails, soak your feet in a mix of mouthwash, vinegar, and warm water for 30 minutes. Wow. A girl complained about my rough feet when we went to sleep one night, so I started this routine. You know, it's interesting because I never heard of this, but it makes sense. Like the acidity of vinegar, warm water, it probably gets all that crust off our foot. And men, you know, we don't really think about these things. We're rough creatures, right? We just wanna get things done, but um you know, like there's nothing wrong with trying to have a heightened sense of hygiene and all that stuff. So, for example, I go get pedicures from time to time, maybe once a month, every month and a half, I'll get a pedicure, right? And that's to get my nails right. And it's not so much to get pretty feet, right? I know that's what people are gonna say, but it's just like so I don't get ingrown toenails, so I can get all that stuff off my feet. I wear boots to work, right? So um and all that. And also, guys, change your socks, clean your clothes, like your underwear, your socks. Like I'm not gonna get into that, you guys are adults, but all that stuff, you know, your feet, pay attention to your feet, right? Because gross, like I've seen some gross feet in my day, and I'm like, man, you know, that's how do people even get close to you once they see those feet? Yeah, so all right, yeah, thank you for the $10 super chat, Dark Knight. I appreciate it. So okay. Grooming habits. I think we more or less talked about this, like, you know, like your shaving and all that stuff. Use a good razor, right? I use damn, I forgot the brand. Keeps, I think it's called Keeps. Keeps? The brand? No. It's a razor brand. And it started using it and I've had less bumps on my face. I don't shave too often. I don't think shaving unless you're in the military or a job that you have to shave. I don't recommend shaving often. Every 3 days, right? If you're gonna grow a beard, I don't know much about beards, but I know that you know I've seen guys with patchy beards. It looks gross. If you can't grow it, don't grow it, right? If it looks like shit, don't grow it, right? It's there's nothing grosser than men with patchy hair and all that stuff. Now it could look good in a certain context, right? But for most contexts, like if you can't grow the beard, don't grow it. If you can't grow the mustache, if you can't grow the patches, anything, just don't, right? Choose a lane. Uh, and all that. Yeah. Uh, what else? What else? Grooming habits, keep hair trims. Yeah. For grooming, also like your teeth, incredibly important. I'm not very knowledgeable on teeth whiteners. I just brush often. I do have some teeth whitener in there that I have to use that someone gave to me as a gift, but uh, yeah, your teeth are incredibly important, right? Floss, all that crap, you know. Um, I know our dentists will eternally remind us to floss all every day. And guys, like really, like especially if you eat red meat, like get those chunks of food out of your teeth, man, and especially before a date. Mouthwash, all that stuff, right? The, that's what I do before a date. I also I get rid of any chest hair. I'm not, you know, maybe you guys are okay with it, but I just don't like chest hair, so I just get a electric razor. I don't like, you know, not so close that I burn my chest with the razor, but I get all these little small excess hairs off. I don't do it often. I'm not obsessed about it, but maybe once a week, you know, once every week and a half, I just trim it down, right? Um, yeah, I personally, I leave my armpits alone. I don't care about my hairy armpits or anything like that, so I don't care. But that's my grooming routine, all that. I don't really shave my balls. I don't really shave my genitals. I kind of cut them down a little bit, you know. Just as long, I want to make it look kept, right? That's all. That's all that matters. Uh, grooming. So yeah, mouthwash. I do floss first, and then mouthwash, and then I brush my teeth, and then tongue scrape. Wait, I tongue scrape second. So I floss, tongue scrape, then mouthwash, and then brush. Brushing is last. I don't know if that's what dentists recommend. I saw a video on it on Instagram Reels by a medical professional, but you know, it's Instagram Reels. Like who knows what the real recommendation is. But hey, it works for me. So yeah. Other grooming things is guys, your ears here, these hairs here, you know, you can miss one. Nose hairs, like that's especially as you get older, you're gonna get these weird nose hairs. Like get those trimmers that have like different attachments, but the nose hair is like a little circular razor with teeth facing inward and just, get those nose hairs, right? It's just gross. Another thing I see of guys all the time is like almost pisses me off, like missing patches of when they shave, missing patches of hair on their face to shave. Guys, take an extra look at yourself in the mirror after you've shaved. Like inspect yourself, right? Give a shit. Like for me personally, I tend to miss hairs here on my Adam's apple. I don't know why. Maybe it's because when I'm shaving, I'm scared to go near it. So when I do miss hairs, I just grab my electric razor, take care of it. I miss hairs here too, on the corners of mustache. I see guys that miss hairs here because they can't get their razor all the way up there and all that. But yeah, guys, I see guys that miss hair here on their chin, and these are places I used to miss all the time, right? But just give yourself just inspect and all that stuff, right? And here, see, we've been talking. I've been talking for 45 minutes, and I have not said anything crazy beyond basic stuff and stuff that I do, right? And that's the thing here. We have all these things that I'm going to discuss in a couple minutes here that are unhealthy. That show that's more about neuroticism than it is about self care and giving a shit about yourself, right? Yeah. Shaving your neck is terrible. I hate it. So since I'm a little scared to go here, I just use a electric razor and get the 2 or 3 hairs that I missed there. So hey, we have Sean. What's up, my friend? Nice to see you on the show. So yeah, you got your nose hairs and the like. Ask your barber to check for like the ear hairs here and all that stuff you want to. Yeah, if you guys so if you guys wear jewelry like me, like ear jewelry, I have this little machine where it uses like vibration of the water, or the machine vibrates and it kind of like uses cavitation, right? To clean the metal on the little pieces and parts of my earrings here. I forgot what the name of it is. I bought it on Amazon. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. But I put my jewelry in there, whether it be a chain or my earrings. And I put it on for 3 minutes and it blasts, or my glass, I put my glasses in there too. And it blasts away all the dirt and grime. You know what? I'm gonna search it for. I think it's a. I'm gonna look. Here we go. So for you guys that wear glasses and all that, hold on. I'm trying to find one on. They're on AliExpress. It's more like I think it's very popular on it's very popular on AliExpress, so it's probably more popular in Asia in that area. But I found one here. I found one here on Amazon. Um, hold on, Amazon has my name, but you know what? Here's what we'll do. I'll just share the screen. So you guys see, like this is something that I have. Um, it's just for my glass. If you guys use sunglasses, or I use regular glasses when I drive and when I work. So, those things get dirty over time. Your glasses do get dirty. They're sitting on your face and all that, like dead skin stays on them. And then if you guys use jewelry or something like that, you put it in there and it like with I guess they call it ultrasonic cleaner, but like I think it uses cavitation to in bubbles to get all those things, and it works, guys. Like I remember putting my glasses in there for the first time. You just see this like brown stuff coming off of it. I'm like, Jesus, man, my glasses were dirty. And guys, keep your glasses clean. Like you wipe them down, all that stuff. That is my one of my biggest problem areas too, because I'll come out of a dirty work site, or just out and about, and my glasses stain up and all that stuff, and I don't even notice. Right, my eyes get used to it, and then I take them off. I'm like, whoa, and I put it in this machine when I get home, and they're squeaky clean. Right, 3 minutes, squeaky clean. So just something to think about, guys. Yeah. So, anyways, grooming habits, posture work. We talked about posture with the gym, like work on your rear delts, work on your upper to mid back. Um Something that helps with posture is walking, walk a lot. Be conscious, are you slouched over and all that stuff, your glute muscles, work on those. And try not to look at your phone all the time when you're out, right? Try to look forward. Um, like when you're outside walking or like you're just taking a walk, try to be present and not always like looking at your phone. I know it's hard because, especially for me that I make content, all that stuff. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Let's see. Moving on. Okay, so dress smarter. Okay, this is a big one, right? Dress smarter. What does that even mean? That's what Grok said, and I'm like, okay, that's a pretty. I like the. I don't like words that mean better or bigger. I like those are too generic. Smarter just means like, hey, let's use our heads and be tactful. I have a whole ass guide. I'll put it in the chat now on how to dress smarter, and it's not really that specific, guys. It's just more like a crash course to like, just like how the red pill isn't supposed to like tell you what to do, but more like how to think. The same thing with fashion. It's a different. It's a way to get you to think differently about how you dress, right? Um, Let me put it in the chat here. It's $30, guys, if you want it. Shameless plug, but essentially dressing smarter. How do we dress smarter? Well, it depends on several things, right? First off, what what area of the world you live in, which is really going to dictate what you're going to dress the most of. Like I live in Texas, the summers here are long and hot, and the winters are mild, meaning that I don't need like a lot of winter clothes. Like for the most part, we have like maybe one snow, two snows a year, right? Or one freeze, right? And that's about it, right? So I don't need anything crazy in terms of snow. Um, and also like what you like to do, right? And your lifestyle, right? Like I have a uniform for work and I wear boots for work and they already gave me the polo. I look good in it because I'm muscular, right? But for work, I like if you are a guy that is in corporate that needs to wear suits and button ups, then you're probably gonna have to focus your style around that because that's what you're gonna be wearing most of the time. If you're a guy like me that already has a uniform, keep it clean, take care of it. But then when I'm out and about, I'm usually in gym clothes, right? Because I'm either doing active stuff like walking my dog or going to the gym, right? So what I do is you buy the clothes that fit your lifestyle and your environment, right? So if you live in Florida, you probably don't need a lot of winter clothes, or if you live in Chicago, you probably need a lot of winter clothes because the winters there are pretty bad. Um, I also don't wear crazy colors like yellow and purple, stuff like that. You find color like all this is covered in my guide. Um, but there's certain color combinations that work well that you'd be surprised too. Like think about that, like purple and gray, right? You never guess, but the gray mutes the purple so well, and it's usually a really good look, right? And I would wear like these gray plaid pants, right? But then I'd also wear a purple tucked in purple V-neck and the look was it was my favorite looks. I look good in it. And you stand out because most men don't understand or don't use that color combination, but the gray mutes the purple and all that stuff and you look good, right? And those are things that you should look into. Give a shit, right? Is you don't have to go to me. There's Well Built Style. He has a great blog. I've been following his blog for a long time. What's his name has that book about what's his name? Tanner Guzzi. He had The Appearance of Power. He has that book. It's a great book. Um, and then there's endless blogs. You know, even the fashion board on 4chan. I've learned a lot of things there. Right? It's not maybe not the best resource, but it's just um, yeah. And I Pinterest really is what helps me the most. Right? So if we go to Pinterest and you type in a lot of what makes us attractive, or sorry, what you think could make you attractive, right? Let me make sure my first name isn't on here. Okay, it's safe. So let's learn how to use Pinterest, right? Because Pinterest is one of the best tools we have um to like Looksmax in 2025. So it's one of my favorite tools, if not the best tool, right? So share. So like the way Pinterest works, if you guys don't know, is that you just search stuff and it gives you pictures, recipes, and all that stuff, right? And for example, um I like to look at anime stuff for my thumbnails and all that. I like to look at like interior design because I was redesigning my apartment. I like computer setup stuff, so you'll see computer setup stuff there. Let me make myself smaller here. There we go. I like, I look up recipes and all that. Let me see what else. Funny memes. Pinterest is great for funny memes, by the way. The funniest memes and reaction pictures are on Pinterest. I don't know how that happened, but it is there and all that stuff, right? So let's say here, uh, sh- street fashion format, right? Let's say you're a guy that lives in the city like me, and you just like to go out for a casual drink, casual dates, and or you just want to check out a coffee shop, and you don't want to dress too fancy, right? So that street fashion for men, we search it here. Give it a second. Okay, so here we are, street fashion for men. Okay, now here's where you gotta like practice a little bit of discernment, right? Think of it like this: you're going to see a lot of looks that are weird, like this guy right here in the left, which I've highlighted. I don't agree with these big, it's a very young guy look. Like I saw one guy have that look, and he was probably like 20, right? And I'm willing to bet most of you guys are over 20, and you can't be dressing like this, right? However, like this guy's look, right? This guy's look is pretty solid. Oh wait, taking me somewhere else. But this guy's looks pretty solid right here that I have highlighted. This guy's look pretty simple, nothing crazy, but pretty simple. This is pretty simple. A little more, maybe it's for a cold walk to the barbershop or to the coffee shop or anything like that. But you get my drift, right? You're gonna find a lot of weird looks because they're trying to be edgy and all that stuff. But a lot of times you're gonna find some good looks, right? If you like, if you're more of the alternative like rocker style look, this guy right here I highlighted is pretty good, right? The brown chinos with Chuck Taylors and a band shirt, and it goes with is congruent because he has tattoos. He has a little bit of unkept hair, but he has the look like the Rolo essay. Have a look, right? And that's how you Looksmax is finding a look that works for you, and that is based on your lifestyle, based on where you live, right? And what you do for a living, right? All those things come together. And then the most important piece is like what type of, well, not most important, but one part of it is what scene are you and what type of girls are you going for, right? So me, I'm Hispanic. So let's say I want to go for women that are Hispanic, right? So I have to dress not entirely, but I have to have a look, right? What do Latinas find attractive? What artists, what um celebrities and all that stuff, right? Let's say it's, like these reggaeton artists, right? So I look at how they dress and honestly, they don't really like they're all like thugged out and their looks are ridiculous, right? Like most urban music. However, I look at the other side of like bachata, which is more of like I wouldn't like a little bit fancier, a little bit more less out there, and I look at their look and I'm like, okay, Romeo Santos, how does he dress, right? Um, he's the guy that the number one bachata artist right now of like, and how does he dress, right? And I sort of copy him, right? So when I would go out to go dancing, right here in the middle, I'd wear a suit like that. Nothing, not too bright because I'm not that flashy, right? But I wear a suit showing a little bit of chest. I have a nice chest, right? Um, so I practice discernment, right? And I kind of look at looks that I don't think are too crazy. Like right here, this look with the suede uh blazer and that's not a bad look, right? It's a little over the top, right? But so and that's what the ladies want, like this look right here. Latinos love that look, right? He's a sex symbol, right? So this is what the ladies are into, so you kind of mirror that, and that's what have a look is. It gives you the edge over um regular boring men. So the way you do this is you find a celebrity that you're kind of look like, that kind of embodies you a little bit, right? An attractive celebrity, right? So if you're a black guy, think of attractive black celebrities, not like rappers that, like I would say, hey, Idris Elba, classy black dude, dresses well, great with the ladies, he's a sex symbol, right? So, hey, if you're an older black dude or even brown dude, maybe you kind of look like him, you have his vibe, right? We'll follow his look, right? And look at this guy, right? Look how he wears suits. Look how his style, his fashion, right? Um, he's a great example for dudes on how to dress, right? Obviously, not all his looks are going to be But look at this. I like this look right here. Like the pants, the shirt, how it's showing. Like it's not the the pants are tailored at the bottom. He's wearing white sneakers. That's a good look for older gentlemen, right? It's youthful but also classy, right? He wears good shoes and all that stuff, and this is very important, right? And then for white guys, like another guy is Johnny Depp. I think Johnny Depp dresses pretty good for like his um kind of uh I want to say genre niche, whatever. Like this look is great. If you're that guy that has that rakish kind of like rebellious look at this shit. This is great. Johnny Depp is one of the most best dressed men I've ever seen. And he can obviously he's a good looking dude, right? He could, maybe he was. He's kind of old now, but look at all the looks, right? He's rocking them. They all look congruent to who he is. He can rock a suit. He can rock the black clothing and all that stuff. So he, yeah, these are like look at these looks, man. Like I'm not trying to gush too much, but these are the men you have to look at and be like, wow, I need to get that look, right? And that's gonna really set you apart because you are embodying sexually to what an archetype, and that archetype is what women find attractive, right? Not the guys that wearing Marvel shirts and all that stuff. It's the guys that look like this, right? And women have a type. They can exercise options more than we can sexually, right? So if you embody that, it's just going to increase you from being that top 20% guy that everyone mythologizes about to that 4% where you're in a scene where you're respected and care, like you have a little bit of status, you have the look, and also you feel confident, you're well groomed, you have the right hair, you got it all together. And it's almost the only thing you need to do is approach at that point. The girls will be around you. And this changes drastically for the environment. Like I was last Friday, I was at a anime rave just with my brother. I just wanted to go and listen to music. I decided to cosplay as Cloud. And funny enough, that's a look, a cosplay anime character. That's a look. You have a giant sword. You're in an anime party, right? I'm 6 feet tall. Whatever. I have presence. I good posture. I smell good. Like anime nerds probably don't do much uh, self care or anything like that, or groom themselves that well. And I stood out, right? And then this group of girls. I had three group of girls that wanted to take pictures, right? And what happens is that that's just an extreme example or a weird example, I guess, of having a look and what it does to people, women in certain environments. Having a look is incredibly important. It's a topic for another day. It's very deep. I can go really deep with this, but this is just part of looksmaxing is having a look, right? Um, and this is what I'm talking about. Looksmaxing seems to be some kind of like black pill doomer fucking talk, but in reality, it's just like, dude, it's just investing in yourself and being smart, right? Smart fashion, right? And it goes deep, guys. Like you don't, it doesn't have to be Johnny Depp or Idris Elba or George Clooney or anything like that, right? It's just find a celebrity that girls like that or is a sex symbol, and look what makes them attractive, right? Physically, what is it about these people, right? I- if it's something you can't change, like his facial structure, you probably get maybe you can lift right and lose the weight, but like you can't look exactly like him, which is what the black pill doomers focus on. But you can copy his fashion, his hair, and all that stuff. Why not? It doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you smart. I copied uh Romeo Santos's hairstyle and his swag, and like from time to time, I do put on a suit or a blazer to go out salsa dancing, and I got the look and you'll be surprised. I mean, not surprised. I mean, ask Sean. He went out dancing with me, and he saw it. It was just like some girls will walk up to you because you embody that. And guess what? Almost every time, like almost every night I went out dancing, they're like, "Oh, are you Romeo?" Like just playfully, and all because I have a look. That have a look essay by Rolo, man, it will get you laid. I promise you. Um, I didn't expect to be talked so deeply. Oh yeah, David Beckham. Someone mentioned him in the chat. Yeah, he's also a good example for men. But um, yeah, it was an essay by Rolo, and I'll reference. I'll do a show one day. I've been wanting to do a show on Have a Look, but I'll reference Rolo's essay. But it's good stuff, right? It's good stuff to get you ahead of the curve. Okay. All right, we were talked about mental health. Like sleep is your number one thing for mental health. Lay off the caffeine. The caffeine will fuck your mental health more than anything. I know we want to focus on mental health being like, like inner your search for truth and feelings. I'm like, no, dude. A lot of the times it's just we drink too much caffeine, and that shit gives you anxiety because you have so much caffeine in you and stuff. Sometimes you just by not drinking coffee, your mental health will skyrocket. Sometimes by just taking more showers, like you smell and you don't feel, sometimes just by eating right foods, like that basic stuff is probably enough for most people's mental health. You can't control the outside world, right? But you can control what's in your control. So think, what am I doing to make my mind healthier? Getting sleep is number one. It will always be. Your brain cannot function if you're not sleeping. You're drinking too much alcohol, if you're eating too much shit food, if you're not having enough sex or anything like that. Your mental health can affect you because you start frowning more, you get wrinkles on your forehead and all that stuff. You look, your facial expression looks more worried and all that stuff. You want to have a friendly, boyish kind of visage on your face. You want to look like happy-go-lucky, or like I like to call it the shit-eating grin. Like I have this grin when I go out all the time. I just stand in a corner and I'm just like this, right? And it just shows like you're relaxed, you're amused, right? You want to have that amused look on your face when you go out because you are amused, right? But if you're worried, you're anxious or anything like that, women will be like, "What's wrong with him?" Right? Women are very good at looking at your facial expressions and deducing how you feel. Trust me, like our mothers are good at it, our girlfriends or wives, whatever. And I've had instances when women come up to me and like, "Hey, like, is everything okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Like, is something wrong? Do I, like, do I look? No, you just look angry." And I'm like, "Whoa, really?" And then I realized like maybe I'm just bringing too much problems from work or home to out when I'm out. Maybe I should just leave that at home and relax. It's like I can't change what I can't change, right? So, yeah, take care of your mental health and realize it's much simpler than you think. We're not women, right? We can fix this stuff pretty easily. And it's usually, oh shit, I've been sleeping 5 hours a night for the past 3 nights. Maybe I should take a long 4 hour nap and catch up. Hey, I've been on 3 or 4 dates. I'm tired. I've been dealing with women too much. Guys, women wear us the hell out. So maybe, take a week off if you can, right? Catch up on your hobbies, right? Relax, breathe, catch up on your hobbies, and you'll realize like, oh shit, I haven't been taking care of myself, right? Um, yeah, breathing exercise and meditation. I'm not big on meditation, but again, we're not here to be right or win or like, hey, whatever works for you, whatever works for you. Like if meditation works for you, yes. For me, what helps me is I don't know, cleaning is a form of meditation for me. Just cleaning stuff out and getting rid of stuff in my apartment I don't need. Like if there's a random lamp, a random piece of stuff that I don't need, getting rid of it, donating it or putting it out so people can pick it up. That helps me for some reason mentally. I like that. That's like my meditation is cleaning and all that stuff. Guys, like watch less red pill content. Really like the dating content, this stuff is designed to piss you off. That's how they get engagement, right? I know that I participate in it. And I have to, right? Because I try to make a little bit of money for my time and I try to get a funnel to get more guys this information, right? But it's just not healthy, right? It's going to, no matter how, like, even me, guys, with all the experience I have and knowing women like the back of my hand, I still see videos of women being terrible online. And rarely, but sometimes it makes me react emotionally, right? And that's how powerful this stuff is. And you'll realize that a lot of the stuff that goes viral is because it induces anger. It's a pain point of society, and you don't have to participate. If you want to, cool, it's fun, it's entertainment, right? But if you're bringing that anger to the people in real life, to yourself, to the people you love, right? If you see a shitty video about women and then you go out with your friends and that's what you talk about, right? You don't have your friends forever, right? Leave this red pill stuff between you and the screen that you're seeing, right? Your friends deserve better. That you're obviously, if that's what you guys like to talk about, like me and my brother talk about this stuff all the time, and it's cool, right? But for the most part, have fun, right? There's more to life than women. Women come and go. You have no control over that. You can just incentivize them a little bit, and that's it, right? Um, so yeah, consume less of this content. Consume what you like, right? Like for every hour of red pill stuff you could watch, you could be watching anime. You could be watching tutorials on how to play piano or carpentry. Um, you can read a book, right? Like if you got this red pill stuff down, then you don't have to keep watching it forever. You can just move on. Or, if you do like this stuff, right? Watch people that give you hope, that give you strategies, that give you solutions, right? Like I'm not trying to, say I'm awesome, right? That awesome. I am awesome, but um, right? I don't like talking about the problems. Great, right? It's cool. We get it. Women this, men that. We get it. We get it, right? But you know what's really like really helps guys mentally is giving them a plan or helping them come up with the plan and making it simple, right? Not like this convoluted. You're fighting a battle of attrition, whatever, right? It's just like, hey, step one, this, step two, step three, and guys are like, cool. Even if they don't follow it, it makes them feel good because when there's a way out of something and the person telling you there's a way out, you get the sense that they went through the same shit you went through and that you're not special. There's a sigh of relief and it's like everything's going to be okay. Right. Yeah, I haven't had sex in a while. Yeah, dude, happens. I've been there. Dry spell. You go through a couple bad things in your life or just tired or you just, you're burnt out from women. Like, you get burnt out from women too. I thought I was supposed to date forever. I'm like, no, dude, you stop when you want. Yeah, you get tired. Hey, dude, stop and hang out more with your family. Go visit your mom. Play a video game. Women are gonna be there. There's always gonna be a new crop of 18, 21-year-olds every day. They're not going anywhere, and you're just getting more attractive. You're doing the right things. Relax, breathe, have fun. Not every opportunity is for meeting and having sex with women. Right? Go out, talk to some ladies, be nice to them, friend zone them, get to know them. Right? I have female friends when I go out, and sometimes I'm just like, talk. Tell me about your day. When I go to salsa night, I have a Korean friend, and she just tell hey, how'd your interview go? And you just hear her talk, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, yeah, this is nice. It's nice to like hear humans that are positive and happy and hopeful for the future talk, right? And you realize that it's easy to fall in these traps. Remember, the internet is like gravity, right? Everywhere we are, everywhere we feel like that pull to go back on X, to go back on Instagram, to just check what's going on. And it's hard. You have to defeat that, right? But realize that there's just certain moments in life that really require you to just put the phone down. It's going to the dog park is one. Where you're at the dog park and let's say you pull out your phone and you're watching your dog running around, your dog's never gonna be that cute puppy ever again, right? Enjoy those moments with your dog. And there's probably cute girls around too that you could be talking to, right? When you're out with your friends, right? When you're out, try to like all that is your mental health. Your phone will never go away. It's always gonna be there. Remember, trust me, nothing on Twitter is that important. You're gonna be fine, right? Mental health is very important. Um, and realize that this red pill stuff, its purpose is not a lifelong subscription, right? Consume as little of it as reasonable as you can, and when you feel like you forgot something or you just sometimes you just like hearing intelligent people speak, right? Eventually, you're gonna be like, hey, I get it. I'm already here. I got the life I wanted, the girl I wanted. There's nothing else to talk about. I'll catch a show here. I'll catch a roller stream here or Rule Zero there or whatever. But that's it. You don't need to meet, man. Maybe Cappy drops a book. Cool. But you're gonna realize like, man, I got this stuff. Now I can go back to focusing like, you know, how to build a computer or stuff like that, right? And that I know it's weird. It's not super part of looksmaxing, but being more happy-go-lucky and chill is really going to affect the way you look. You're not going to be as worried and you're going to have a healthier, you're going to age better and all that stuff. So, yeah. Okay. The next one is oral hygiene. I think we talked about that. I told you that I personally I floss, tongue scrape, brush, and then mouthwash. I think that was the order. Or no, I brush last. There you go. I brush last. I just saw an Instagram reel by some dental assistant that said that was the best order. I don't know. I'm like, hey, that makes sense to me, right? Um I guess everyone has their own way. Yeah. Having a hobby outside of social media is super healthy. Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, we got Viking Paradigm. What's up, my friend? Nice to see you here. Um, is this the real Glenn Lawrence? How you doing, sir? If that's the real you, how you doing, sir? Um, anyways, where was I? Okay, so uh let's move on. We already talked about oral hygiene. And go to the dentist, yeah, I guess. Cardio for glow, we talked about cardio. Okay. So let's take a quick break and then we're gonna talk about the weird stuff that guys do that's not healthy for looks maxing and all that stuff. So let's take a quick break and then we'll be back. Mm. All right, guys. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's continue. Uh, all right. So things that guys do that aren't healthy. I mean, some guys do these, but like, I don't think they're healthy. Um, I think, okay, so Grok gave me a couple things. We'll go through this. Steroid abuse. Yeah. So steroids, very personal decision. I'm not gonna tell a grown man what he should or shouldn't do, right? But realize that you got to know the risks. You got to know what you're doing. You got to talk to professional guys that have done it before too. If you decide to do roid and all that stuff, your PCT getting off it, long-term effects and all that. Just know deep down you don't need roids to get women. You don't, right? You're as long as you're okay with it. If you're doing roids because you want to, not because to impress some chick, then sure. But like in terms of women, you do not need steroids to um You do not need steroids to look good, right? That's just a myth, right? So, yeah. Um, okay. Starvation diets, I don't know what Grok meant by that, but I don't know, guys. I think a fast once in a while is good. Like I see people, there was a time where people like fought fasting really hard or whatever, but the more time goes on, the more positive things I hear about fasting, and honestly, I'm starting to think maybe I should fast once a week. I don't know if once a week is a lot for you guys that are fasting. Is that too much? Once a week for 24 hours. Is that too much? And it's more for like I just want to see the effects and see if it does is positive. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The literature on fasting is kind of yeah, I never get like a bottom line, is it good or is it bad? But I guess it's one of those things you got to try it yourself and see how you feel. Maybe how you feel is really the really determining factor, right? Some guys swear about it, but whatever. Um, yeah. Yeah, starvation darts aren't healthy. Jaw fillers overload. I didn't know there was jaw fillers, but I guess guys are so obsessed with having jaw lines, excuse me, that they inject stuff into their jaw. I'm not even gonna get into that. That just sounds stupid. Um, uh, Tanning beds, I guess, like why not just go outside and get a normal tan, right? I know like there's some white guys that if they get too much sun, they'll burn easily, right? But why not get sun the natural way, right? Which requires you to be outside, maybe play some sports outside and all that, you know? So yeah. Uh, let's see. Mewing obsession. Yeah, this one's funny. Mewing obsession. It's I guess it's like when you do the like that look to see if it'll grow certain masculine features like your cheekbones and your law. I think it's comical, but I guess Grok says tongue pressing to supposedly reshape your jaw isn't inherently unhealthy, but some take it to extremes of avoiding chewing or speaking normally to maintain posture. It's unproven for adults, waste time, and constrain your jaw. Yeah, it's not even unhealthy. It's just too stupid. But I guess it's an internet meme, so yeah. One day a week is good. Depends more on what you're trying to do. I guess, maybe help with the caloric deficit. Maybe like, hey, like I've been eating a lot of, let's say like, I would say like if I'm eating, uh, maybe helps with like when you're eating shit food. Like, damn, I ate McDonald's twice this week. Maybe that. I haven't looked into it too much, but the people I know that have done it swear by it, and they feel good. And I'm like, maybe feeling good is all that matters when it comes to fasting and all that. So. Okay. Hair transplant scams, like from what I understand, getting hair transplant isn't really much of a risk. It's, a lot of guys have get their hair back, but I think it's like the cheap ones, skimping out, don't skimp on this stuff. There's a lot of scams around hair transplant. I guess get the minoxidil or just shave it off, like you're not gonna stop getting girls because you shave off you shave your head, right? Like I know a lot of girls like to be mean on the internet, right? But those are just miserable women on the internet. Any woman that's going on the internet to bully men is probably most likely miserable, right? Happy women are out there getting the men they want, fucking and having intimate relationships with them. Miserable women who've taken L's with men go to the internet to bully average men, right? Or they bully our hobbies, they bully our hair, everything, our race. That's all they do. They have nothing to add. So all they'll do is shame men just for existing. They have no um yeah. Jelking, yeah. I don't even know. Grok didn't talk about jelking. Jelking is like when you pull your dick downwards or something to make it longer. I don't know. Hmm. Passing up to loose skin as well. Okay, cool. Okay. So fat dissolving injections. Holy shit. I guess you poke this stuff in your chin and certain parts of your body, and it dissolves the fat. That sounds dangerous as hell. Wow. Sleep deprivation for edge. Some grind set bros skip sleep to flex positivity, claiming it sharpens focus on rugged looks. Okay, so purposefully not getting sleep so you perform better. That doesn't make sense to me. On a physics standpoint, biophysics, that doesn't make sense. But hey, I guess a lot of these guys saw the movie The Batman and they saw what's his face? The guy that plays Bruce Wayne now, like with bags under his eyes. I'm like, man, I want to look like him. And I'm like, sure, dude. Like, I can't believe what I'm reading. Over the counter enhancers, sketchy pills or creams promising thicker beards, bigger muscles, or glowing skin, flood online markets, most are untested, loaded with junk, can trigger allergic reactions or organ strain. Yeah, like, you know, whenever someone presents you a shortcut, just assume it's too good to be true. So, yeah. Yeah, I heard that like it replaces cells in your body or something. I don't know. But if you guys swear by it, if you guys think it's good, there's no harm in trying it. We already eat too much anyway as a species, so all right. Plastic surgery, yeah. Plastic surgery is weird for guys. Like I understand if you got like an absolutely disgustingly huge schnoz, you want to get rid of it. I get that, but like the guy that got his like broke his knees and elongated his legs so he could become 6 feet, that's crazy to me, right? Um, you guys think if he would have just like approached women more and got him some positive feedback, he wouldn't have done that surgery? Like that guy really thought that being 6 feet or whatever his final height was like the number one kind of like thing that was holding him back from enjoying women. That blows my mind, right? Like I get it, like I'm on the taller side, right? But I've seen men 5'8", 5'9" take women right under my nose. And I'm like, man, maybe if he would have just approached more women and got some positive feedback and gave him a shit, But who knows? Who knows? I think maybe people are just deeply insecure or just, a little bit off. So yeah. And yeah, the plastic surgery edition. Okay, so yeah, guys, Looksmaxxing, it's a journey, right? Because it's an ongoing. First off, it's an ongoing process. It lasts forever. You're always gonna be trying to look good. You're always gonna need haircuts. You're always gonna probably reinvent yourself and all that. My Looksmaxxing routine is essentially go to the gym, eat the right foods, like I told you guys how I track calories in my head. I tell you all my like kind of hacks. For you guys that are struggling to gain weight, I put a shot of olive oil in my protein shakes. My super protein shake that I used to drink when I was like trying to build muscle in the morning and I didn't want to like make breakfast or anything like that was 2 scoops of whey protein, 2 to 4 raw eggs, cocoa powder, a banana, um, peanut butter, a tablespoon or two of peanut butter, milk or coffee. I switched to coffee. I'm like, milk doesn't, whatever. And that's and honey. And I would mix that up and and I would put it in a shaker bottle or and just go to work. And I would drink that on the way to work. That's like 1,000 something calories, and that's like 80 grams, 80 to 90 grams of protein, if I calculate it out correctly. Something like that. And yeah, and that's how I would gain weight. And then I add a shot of olive oil to get those calories up, right? If you're struggling to get calories in you. So that's what I did, and it worked for a little while. Nowadays, I just focus more on solid food. I have more time to cook and all that stuff. But yeah, that's what my routine, like how I got all like most of my protein, or not most, but like fill in the gaps in sort of my macros. In terms of like my hands and feet, I have scars here, right, from lifting, and I have cuts and stuff from like some of the more physical aspects of my job, right? But girls like cuts. I have a cut here or a scar here. Girls like that shit. Don't over. If you have like a scar on your face, like girls are like the ruggedness. It means that you survived a battle in their head, right? Survived something messed up. Like I have a huge scar on my back, always positive feedback on that giant scar on my back. And if you got a big scar, make a cool story about it, right? Hey, I got into a fight with a bear, or hey, I saved somebody from a fire. Whatever, even if it's exaggerated, girls will laugh and all that. So there's that. Um, it's gonna take for a lot of guys, it takes them a while to find the haircut that suits them, right? You may go through haircuts and try different things. Uh, I think some of the looks maxing bros on YouTube call this the discovery phase where you find a haircut that really suits your face, your facial structure, your look, and then you even look like it's popular, it's not out there, it's not weird, and also makes you look like a celebrity, right? Like I said, my hair, I like to keep it clean on the sides and messy on top. It's almost like a Zoomer millennial black guy look. I've got nothing but positive feedback on it, and I maintain my looking like that celebrity guy, and it's easy to maintain. I just gotta detangle it like every 3 days, and easy to trim off and all that stuff, and it hides my balding temples here up here, and yeah, it's a great look, right? I think it took me like I mean, I helped the military helped because I usually just what I got, but military I always kept the top kind of cut close to, right? But um, when it came to when I got out of the military and I let my hair grow out, I'm like, wow, what if I let it grow out on the top and keep cutting the sides for like, you know, hygiene purposes? And yeah, it worked. It works for me. So for you guys, it may take time for you guys to find your look. for to find your right haircut. You know, some of you guys are starting to bald and you're just scared to cut it off, and one day you'll cut it off and you're like, well, I look good. It's gonna take time to get used to this, but I look good, right? Like bald with a beard and well kept beard. Wow, and a muscular, you know, like that's a very popular look, and a lot of men have that. And it works for them, right? And there's guys that like, hey, if I get spiky hair, um, like Asian guys. Have you seen those things where Asian guys do these transformations where they have these like dorky haircut and then they get their hair like done by a professional stylist and they look like a K-pop singer. And it's just like, yeah, now the girl's gonna go crazy for you. Good luck, right? Um, yeah, it's like guys, you gotta like play around with your stuff. So that's what I did for my hair. In terms of fashion, I've been following male fashion blogs since I was like 21, right? I've been on the Urban Gentleman, I've been on Well Built Style and all that stuff, all those pages. And I just have always had an interest in looking good and following and realize that most of the stuff isn't changed, right? So when I go out like for a date, I usually wear a Henley or a V-neck if it's hot, and then I like leather jackets, so well-fitting leather jacket. I measure usually when you're gonna go shop for clothes. I don't like going to the store and trying on clothes and trying, I don't like doing that. So I just measured, did my body, my chest, my waist, um and all that. And when I go shopping, I like look at those things, right? Especially when you're buying a jacket and all that stuff, your arm length, um, have those measurements written down somewhere. That way, when you order clothes online, there's going to be certain stores and certain places that have clothes that just fit you well. Like for some reason, the shirts from Target, I forgot the brand, but those shirts fit me well. I don't understand why. In terms of jeans, especially for you guys that have like meaty legs and glutes and all that stuff, like if you do a lot of leg exercises, it's gonna be kind of a struggle. But there's like, you know, there's different there's a athletic sized clothing for people, and you'll be surprised. Like Levi's has really good jeans for people with, bigger thighs and all that. One of the best investments I've ever done in terms of clothes is getting my jeans tailored, right? Because a lot of like I showed you before, the jeans are like really open at the bottom, and it's not such a good look, right? However, I tailored my jeans and got them like almost like perfect with my leg shape and all that stuff. Cost money. I think it cost me $70 or 60, 50, something like that to tailor them, right? But I've had those jeans for like 10 years now. 10 years? It's 2020, it's 2025, right? So 2015. I would say 8 years, right? And the jeans still look like, I think one of them I'm gonna give up on them, right? But I have another pair of jeans which looks like new, and they're tailored, and you know, they go perfectly down to my leg and all that stuff, and they look great with a set of boots or some white sneakers, right? I don't wear any color sneakers unless I'm going to the gym or going on a quick walk, but like white sneaker supremacy, like white sneakers bring a look together, right? I know white people like to wear running sneakers with jeans. I don't. I think that's a huge fashion error. I never do that, right? I think your if you're gonna wear jeans, you're gonna wear white sneakers or boots or actual shoes, dress shoes, right? Even then, I think boots and white sneakers. And when I say white sneakers, not white running sneakers. I mean like white sneakers, right? Like uh, and you can find good deals on Nordstrom Rack and all that stuff. So having a little bit of fashion savvy, it's all in my guide. If you guys want to get it, it's $30. But these rules will help you elevate you, right? Because while you're around a group of dudes with these like bell bottom jeans that they bought at Target or something, and with running sneakers and all that stuff, you have well-fitted jeans that fit you, not too tight, not too loose, and then you're wearing nice clean sneakers and you're muscular and you have a V-neck that's clean, and then you have a nice shave and all that stuff. You're gonna stand out. It's gonna be easy. You're gonna always be winning, right? Um, so yeah. Well, thank you, Miriam. Mary. I don't even know if I'm saying your name correctly, but thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate your compliments. Monocle magazine, check it out. It's current events and Monocle. Okay, okay. All right, so let's yeah, and then boots. Guys like Chesty will say spend a lot on boots, right? Chesty is one of like Chesty. I have a feeling like Chesty Rockwell. He does. He's one of the married red pill guys, super smart, successful lawyer, right? He's one of those guys that like I've noticed that whenever I ask for like at recommendations on something, he's of the camp of like buy something expensive so it'll last you, right? Or quality over everything else, right? So whereas I'm like, I'm not sure if I want this type of boot, so I'm gonna wear it for a year. And if this is my look, I will buy an expensive version of my boot, right? So I like, for example, I like Chelsea boots a lot. I've always liked them. They're easy to slip them on. They're very, very comfortable if you get in the right size, and they're a great look with jeans. Not so good with formal wear, right? Unless you get like a thinner. I have these new black ones that I might wear with a suit or like or something. I might. I just got to test it out. But for the most part, uh, yeah, they're great, right? So I got what I got is I got a cheap one. I wore it for a year and a half, and I'm like, man, these are awesome. And when they started falling apart, right, because they're cheaper boots, I got an expensive pair, and I'm like, because this is the look I want, right? I fire tested the look I wanted. Same thing with leather jacket. I'm like, most guys look good in jackets if you're in shape, right? But I'm like, how often do I use this leather jacket, right? Am I going to use it every day, every week, once a month, only during the winter? And then I bought the leather jacket in 2016. It lasted me a while because I took care of my clothes. And it wasn't until like this last year where it just started like the you know, it just looked like crap. And I'm like, wow, leather bomber jackets are my thing. I enjoy this jacket for a long time, so let me get a really good leather bomber jacket and spend maybe 200, $300 on one, right? Because I'm gonna keep it for the next decade, right? So yeah, quality of clothes is important. Not to make it too much of a show about fashion, right? But we are talking about Looksmaxxing. Quality of clothes is important. You don't every time you step out of your house, you don't need to look like a celebrity, right? Like, but you need to look clean, right? When I go walk the dog, I wear a pair of joggers that don't have any stains on them, that are clean, right? If there's one little stain, and I'm just going right outside my apartment doors and going back, sure. But if I'm going around the block, right? When I was single in my neighborhood, there's plenty of women. There's women all around. They're walking their dogs, and you don't know what's gonna happen, right? So what I would do is I would wear joggers, clean pair of sneakers, a shirt, depending on the weather, and you look presentable, right? And all that. So yeah, it's just looks maxing. It takes a little bit of thought, especially with your clothes. Think a little bit about where you live, um, what clothes you actually like wearing, what works for you, and all that. Like, and I have recommendations, right? Like for me, I love my field jacket. I bought a field jacket a while ago and I started using it more often, and it's light enough to be used in like 60-degree weather, has lots of pockets. It looks different from most jackets. It looks great with jeans and some boots. And I don't know, it's like really nice, right? And it looks good on me. Um, but right, if it gets really cold, I can't use it. It doesn't keep me warm enough, right? So I switch to a bomber jacket. Bomber jackets for some reason keep you very, very warm. Or but you can't wear a bomber jacket if you're wearing like I mean you can, but you can't. It's better to wear if you wear formal clothing. Like let's say you're going on a date night. Let's say I'm taking Hannah on a date night. I would wear a peacoat, right? Because peacoats go very well with formal clothing, right? That's all in my guide. But yeah, fashion savvy is gonna take a while, guys. But it's mostly depends on what your life's like, what you like to do, and your environment, like the climate, the area where you live, your culture, and all that stuff, right? Um, and the type of girl that you're willing to attract, or sorry, that you want to attract. So it may seem like a lot of work, guys, right? But the thing is, it's freaking worth it. Like I don't know about you guys, I don't want to be average. I don't want to be lumped in with every slob and guy in the world, right? I want to stand out. I want to be elite, and this is step one. And it just takes a little bit of time, right? And money, and not that much money, right? Every article of clothing has a cheaper version of it, right? I would say the only ones that don't get knockoffs are like sneakers. Get name brand sneakers because name brands sneakers that are not name brand fall apart really fast. It's really cheap material, but like get Nike, get Adidas, get Steve Madden for boots, and then Thursday boots maybe if you find a boot that you actually like the style of and you're gonna go all in and all that stuff. So yeah, a lot to say on fashion and dressing. I don't want to get too much because I'm very passionate about this side of self improvement. But just to give you guys a quick, like quick overlook of how I feel about looking and dressing better and all that stuff. It's so much. I can do a 7 hour show if you guys want it on everything I know on how to dress, right? And the thing is, you may think, well, how come you're not always in suits and all that stuff? I'm like, silly child, silly one. Dressing well isn't just wearing suits, right? Because you can just put on a suit and you look good automatically as long as it fits you. It's what type of hats to wear, what colors go with other colors, what environment you in that requires you to dress a certain way. What do you actually like wearing? What complements your skin tone? What look are you trying to go for? Right? What archetype? What do the girls like? Right? Is this something that makes you look like a dork? Is this something that makes you look ahead of the game? Is this something too weird? Is this something going to bring attention away from your face and people are going to be more worried about what you have on than what you're saying or what you're talking about? All these things, right? So yeah, we can get into it, but let's move on, guys, before I get too passionate about this. So okay. For like I said, I for my hands, clip your nails. I go get manicures and pedicures. Make fun of me if you want. I don't care. I think it's great that you go see a professional. It's relaxing. You just sit down. You have these Vietnamese ladies rub your feet and talk to you and all that stuff, and um, it's great. Like they're hilarious. Like Vietnamese nail techs, they're hilarious. They like to joke around. Obviously, they're working for a tip, right? But it's just, you know, they're hilarious little ladies, and it's nice to be treated like a king once in a while. And you get your feet clean, all that crust on your feet, disgusting stuff. Um, yeah. And guys, you'll never know how you'll you underestimate how much women look at our hands and our feet. Mostly our hands because that's what they see most of the time. But feet is also like they don't want to see these yellow crusty nails. Like take care of your feet, stand out. It's easy. It's $70 to go get a pedicure once in a while. It's not gonna kill you. I mainly do it because I don't want ingrown toenails. That looks painful. So I want I cut them myself usually, but once in a while, just in case. Um Fast back to you. You are thinking too much. Know how to dance these women off the floor. That I do, my friend. That I do. Pedicure, yeah. Pedicures every 3 months. Or yeah, if you work in like a place where you're wearing boots and all that stuff that'll tear your feet up and all that, or your feet are just whatever you do to your feet, it's good to just get it taken care of, right? Do you still have the style guide available to who subscribe to your channel? No, it's you don't get it when you subscribe to my channel. Although I should probably make it free for you guys that subscribe. I don't see why not. Uh, I'll see if I can somehow integrate it. I don't know how to do that on YouTube. Maybe I'll ask Hannah or something. But yeah, if you guys are subscribing, I don't see why I couldn't just give it to you guys. You guys are already giving me money. Why not give you something back? So yeah, something to consider. Thank you. I will try to figure out how to put the guide as part of the subscription for or membership for becoming or part of the membership or something. Um, okay. So yeah, and then I get my eyebrows. I tell the barber to do my eyebrows and all that stuff. Clean them up a little bit. Like I don't want them to look feminine, but also I want them to look clean and kept. Right. I know a lot of guys, especially guys that are slobs, are like, oh, I don't do all that stuff. That's feminine. I'm like, no, dude. Being kept and being feminine are two completely different things, right? You want to be kept. That's not to say you want to look like a girl, right? Like you want to, like I personally look best when I have some gruff, when I don't, when my hair's messy on top and clean on the sides. But at the same time, I don't think anyone looks good if you have like furry eyebrows and ear hair and nose hair, that just looks like you don't give a shit and it ages you and all that stuff. So, yeah. All right, guys, we got 31 of you guys watching and 548 on X. Please like the video. Um, Trying to think of what else. Already talking about glasses and jewelry and all that stuff. I have that ultrasonic cleaner, cleans all that dirt off. I use it like once in a while, like once every 2 or 3 days. Keep my glasses clean and all that, and my earrings clean because that definitely gets dirty. Um, Cologne. I don't know if cologne's part of Looksmaxxing. It is, right? But um, what you can do is if you want to get a new cologne, try to avoid like the CVS like cheap Adidas colognes and stuff like that. Get yourself something nice. You're a man, put in some spend some money on yourself and get something nice, right? I right now I'm going through my sample kit. I spent $60 on Amazon. I got a sample of like 15 or 20 different nice colognes. Like I'm talking about Creed, I'm talking about stuff like that, where a bottle of Creed is $340. That's crazy, right? But here's the thing, as you get older, right? You're going to start taking yourself more seriously. And these little colognes like from a CVS or whatever Walgreens that you find, you need to grow the hell up, right? You need to get yourself something nice. During the day for work, I get one little small spray of Hay cologne. I've been using it since college. A friend of mine recommended for me. It's very light. It's very chill smell. It's Japanese cologne. And it's like 30 bucks a bottle. It doesn't smell cheap, but it's like I use it during the day for work. Like use it one spray for work, and then maybe a spray if I'm gonna be go to the dog park and I just took a shower. I don't really think about that too much. When I go out, I'm still deciding which version of Creed, but I think I'm gonna settle with Creed. Chesty recommended me Creed. It's a very expensive bottle, but I'm 36, right? It's time to grow up. Cheap colognes are for children. Seriously, doesn't mean you have to get a bottle of $340 cologne, but guys, these colognes last forever. Like my bottle of Hay lasted like a year, and I was using it every day, right? So, um, you're not gonna use the expensive stuff every day. Have a cheaper one like like Hay, or something, cologne or whatever. But when you're gonna go on a date night, guys, I've used Creed a couple times, and I get a compliment every night. I go salsa dancing, I get a compliment on it on my smell every time. Hannah's complimented complimented me. She likes it. Guys, spend the money, right? Obviously, buy the sample pack on Amazon, test it out, see what you like. Some of them smell bad to you. That doesn't mean, you know, don't wear them if they smell bad to you. But um seriously, guys. Um Yeah, that's another one. Wear socks in your gym shoes that fungi toad doesn't F. Yeah, like wear if you guys go to the gym, wear sports socks. Don't wear dress socks to the gym, right? Obviously, I do sometimes because I come from work and I go straight to the gym and I take the L, right? But then I go home and immediately shower. Wear appropriate socks for the gym, socks that wick, that are like that don't trap moisture and all that stuff. Gym clothes that don't trap moisture, all that stuff. That stuff will mess with your skin, mess with your feet, and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else I do. What else do I do to keep myself? I don't put any powders on my feet. My dad used to do that. I don't really put. I think that stuff dries out your feet too much. I think just changing your socks every day, or is enough. Um, there's things that I still struggle with, guys. Like I still get like bumps on the back of my head when I go to the barber. There's just not much I can do there. Um, I don't know. I run out of ideas for that. Um, I like coffee, so it's gonna yellow my teeth. They don't look too bad here, but I don't smile in pictures too much, so I really don't have a good idea of how yellow my teeth are to the average person or on a picture. But I brush my teeth often, twice a day, like recommended. So I don't know if that's. But if you like coffee, you're probably gonna have to deal with teeth yellowing a little bit. It's something I guess a lot of us coffee lovers struggle with. Let's see what else. Another thing I struggle with, you guys that have V tapers, you guys that have like, muscular bodies, it's gonna be hard to find shirts that complement you. They're gonna be super tight or super loose, like tighter on the chest and looser on the stomach, because that's what American sizes are, just for fat people. So it's gonna take a while to find a shirt company that's not incredible, like charging you $60 for a t-shirt, but also, is fits well. Sometimes you have to compromise. Like those Target shirts, they're a little bit tight around the chest, but not too much. If you're muscular, and then the bottom is a little loose, but not like it. It's obvious that you have a V taper, right? It's not like a square where you put on and you're hiding your power level. It's obvious, right? Um, yeah, I mean, I could talk about this all day, but I think I've made my point. Look maxing is healthy, right? Overall, it's healthy, right? It's just a lot of guys, especially you young Zoomer guys, are using it as a buffer against rejection. You guys are so scared of rejection that you will do everything possible to the extreme to try to guarantee that no rejection, right? And I'm telling you, guys, it's important to look good, to stand out, but you don't have to do that much where you're like getting painful surgeries, doing silly facial expressions and all that, taking chemicals you're not even sure about, and all that, right? It really is sleep. It really is lose the fucking weight or gain the weight if you're a twig. Um, Balancing out your body, which isn't something that you shouldn't like be anxious about. You'd be like, oh, cool, my arms aren't up to par. Let me just add in, you change your workout routine to add arms every day. They're a smaller muscle. They recover faster. You don't need that much recovery for your arms and all that stuff. So, be smart. Think about what stupid things other people are doing to look good, and realize that, hey, they're not doing that to look good. They're doing that because they're absolutely afraid of rejection and they're trying to mitigate it at all costs, right? We can get into photography, but I don't know if you want to get into photography. I just bought, or my father just got me a new Sony ZV-E10 camera, and it's great. I've been taking pictures with it. I mean, obviously, I learned all the settings, but you can't if you don't know how to take pictures of yourself. You're gonna do all that looks maxing, and then you're not gonna be able to market, right? And we can go into that, but essentially, my recommendation is learn the best sides of your face to take pictures. Personally, this is my best side of my face. That's why the camera's facing this way, because this is where I look. You know, I know one of the ladies in the chat complimented me and all that, right? But it's mostly because I'm choosing the best angle of my face and all that, right? Um, Another thing is learn the settings of your iPhone and learn the settings of your camera if you have one. Learn what ISO is, shutter speed, aperture. Learn about focus, exposure, right? Maybe download a program that lets you edit photos, right? Like Canva or whatever, um, and all that. Maybe hire a professional photographer to do a photo shoot, right? And use those photos for maybe your LinkedIn, your social media, your Twitter, your dating apps, whatever, and all that stuff. Practice taking pictures. Uh, and it's gonna feel stupid at first. You're gonna be like, "Well, I look stupid, like doing this stupid pose." Like it's gonna really tug at your masculinity. Like, why am I doing this, right? But if we go back to Pinterest, right? Let me go back to Pinterest. This is why Pinterest. I'm gonna do a whole show on Pinterest and how it can help you as a man. I know you guys probably don't think it's masculine, but hey, I'm here to trade notes and to win, guys. So, all right, so we're back to Pinterest, right? And you put in photography poses for men, right? And we go here. Let me make myself smaller. Okay. So here you go. All these poses, right? Like I know some of these are just like over the top, right? But look at this guy, handsome young guy. Um, that's a good pose, right? And you may think, what's special about this pose? Well, first off, he has a nice fit on, right? He has the white sneakers, white pants, and the black top. That's a nice fit, I would say, he's opening his legs, makes him looks more powerful, right? Men, when in photography, men are encouraged to open their bodies and like the gentleman here on the bottom, to open their bodies up, open their legs. It displays more power, more masculinity. He's not staring into the camera, so it's almost like a candid, It's almost at the it's a flash. It looks in like an expensive place. Like maybe you have a friend that's rich and you go to his pool, take pictures there, right? No excessive jewelry. He has a nice haircut, right? And these are the things that I'm saying, right? Looks maxing, you have to understand what the best parts of your body, how to pose, and it's going to be super weird at first. I know, I get it, but over time, right? The guys that understand how to market themselves the best are going to have success with women. Hey man, thanks for becoming a member. Um, and here's the thing, right? Um, you guys, a lot of you guys will complain and say, "Hey, like photography's stupid. I just go out there and talk to people." I'm like, "Yeah, but guys, this shit's gonna wear you out. Dating will wear you out. Why not make it easier for yourself? Seriously, like learn how to take. It's a skill too. Like, it's maybe one day you want to make content. Now you understand how to take good pictures and you can use these pictures for your content. Maybe one day you want to upload these pictures to social media for a job or whatever. Like there's only upside, right? Um, and you not all poses you have to do, right? Like um this pose in particular, it's not nothing special about this pose. Like I do this even when there's no camera. I just lean on something, right? I'm like, hey, check out this picture. He's in Paris. And he's not doing the lame picture of in front of the Eiffel Tower where everyone does it, the couples, and there's the guy that paints them and all that. He's doing it on a side ledge, right? And his fit is on point. I mean, he could build some muscle, right? But other than that, fits on point. Good lighting. He knows how to pose. He's probably that's the most attractive side of his face. And boom, it's not that hard, right? But it just takes a little bit of practice and getting over yourself and all that, right? And there's different ways to pose. A lot of these are like Paris pics. Look at that. Look at this. Look at these pics. Pics are great. Ask your friends to take pictures um of you. So if you're out with your friends, like my brother has a better iPhone than I do. I have an old ass iPhone. So when he takes pictures of me, they're good. Or he brings his camera. So what he'll do, he'll take a whole we'll take a whole bunch of pics at each other. Like ask your like, it doesn't have to be constant to, like I don't like posing, right? I tell him, hey, just get me doing normal shit, talking to people, candidates, right? And that way it's just not like I'm not stopping every 5 minutes to pose. That shit gets annoying. So then he sends me a zip file, like, hey, dude, here they are. He sends them on WhatsApp, and I pick my favorites and I edit them if I have to, and that's it. They go on my Instagram or go on Twitter, right? Um, Guys, women are doing this already. They're using their photography skills and their face tunes and all this stuff against us. So they're tricking us, they're catfishing us, they're using this shit against us. We can fight fire with fire. That's not to say edit these pictures to the point where you look like a different person. Guys, we're like, we don't need to do that. Girls need to do that. But learn how to take pictures just like they do, right? And you realize it's not that hard. You don't have to look like a weirdo. Are following some kind of um most of these guys are following some kind of what do you call it? Basic photography basics, whether it's opening your body, whether it's looking out to the side. I know this is gonna sound super lame, but there's the coffee pic where your guy's just drinking coffee and all that. There's these pics where it's like a perspective pic. It's like someone's following you. Like these are all, there's this pic. This would be hard to recreate, but maybe you are in a car and your friend's in the front seat. Hey, dude, carefully poke out your phone and take a picture of me, and and use these settings. You'll be surprised. It may be doing too much. But once you have a picture like that, how many guys have pictures like that on their profile? I've never seen a picture like that. That will set you out. That's looks maxing, guys. It's, that marketing is part of the looks maxing, right? And it goes in different ways, right? Like for you guys that are muscular and show off your physique, there's ways to show off your physique, right? Like, that's what Mr. Olympia was. Like who can show off their physique the best and has the best physique? And you can learn on how to show off your physique in a non-cringe way, right? I think this is a little cringe. This guy down here is showing off too much. You got let's not exaggerate, right? But you guys get it. Go on Pinterest, get ideas. Go, take a camera, buy a camera. My CV E10 was like $500 refurbished. It's a good investment if you want to spice up your Instagram and all that stuff, or record yourself and all that, or just get an iPhone. The newest iPhone's camera is great, and learn how to take pictures. Right. Um, let the losers lose, guys. Let the guys that don't want to work, don't want to put in effort into their appearance, don't want to, are doomers and think it's all about looks, but don't do anything to improve their own looks. Right. Um, let them deal with it. I want to win. You guys want to win, right? Um, so I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of whining going on. There's a lot of yelling at women to hold them accountable. There's a lot of uh, anxiety over dating, like what's their body count, right? But what do these pictures convey? What do these pictures convey? Guys that are relaxed, having fun in the moment, being themselves, smiling, whatever, right? What does it convey when you have a good shave? What does it convey when you have a great haircut? What does it convey when you're happy and you're laughing and you're not worried and it's not showing on your face? What does it convey when your eyebrows are cleaned up? What does it convey when your clothes fit you and you have the right look? What does it convey when you look like a celebrity that women like and women are asking you, hey, you look a lot like this celebrity? What does that convey? It conveys one thing, right? That you fuck. And that's it. And in dating, that's all that matters. You have to look like a guy. You have to look so good within reason that women ask you, you look like a guy I should be fucking. The confidence will come, right? A lot of this stuff, especially you guys that are new to this, is going to feel very uncomfortable. The posing, the spending money on clothes that you're not sure about, the discovering looks, it's part of life, right? It's your masculine burden of performance. However, once you get to a point where you put on a suit that's fitted to you, custom or fitted to you, and you feel comfortable in it, that's it, bro. You're already 1% of men, 5% of men, right? Already because you put on a suit that fits you and you're in that environment. When you trim your nose hairs, right? When you wear cologne that's above $30 to go out at night, right? When you wear boots and you keep those boots clean and you're not wearing sneakers to a date, running sneakers to a date, right? What does that all communicate? It communicates that you fuck. And that is what we want to tell the world. And no matter what people say, guys that fuck always have a level of respect that guys that don't have, right? And you want that respect. And most importantly, you do it for yourself, right? People like people that love themselves, that take care of themselves, that are independent. And this nothing shows you care more than all this stuff we talked about, right? Besides, your job and all that stuff. So anyways, guys, great show. There's so much to talk about this. I try to condense it. There's so much to go off of, but do the healthy things, avoid the bad things, and trade notes. Go on Pinterest, get ideas. Right? Don't let the there's a concerted effort for women online for you not to do this stuff. That's the makes me sad. It's like guys that take selfies are gay. I'm like, really? You know what the problem is? It's trying to shame you into not marketing yourself. Because if if we were as good as women at marketing ourselves, the dating game would turn on its head. They would be like it would be they would lose a lot of their sexual power in the dating marketplace because they're banking on men not knowing how to market themselves. A lot of them know we're good looking. A lot of them know that we're handsome and charming or whatever gifts we have. They know. They know that if word got out that you were hot, they would lose leverage. And that's why they shame us for trying to look good. Like men shouldn't do pedicures, men shouldn't do this, men gotta grow beards, or men gotta shave their beards, or men gotta like have this haircut. They don't know. Women don't know what makes them attracted to men. They have no idea, right? They're just trying to tell you to don't do these things to make yourself attractive because then I'll lose power. No, fuck them, right? I did a I did a a thread on Twitter where this girl was like, I don't know, guys who take selfies are kind of, gay, whatever. I'm like, and then I quote tweeted with like, hey, here's how to take better pictures that I learned from some guide online. And I shared it with you guys, and you guys liked it. And that's the thing here, guys. Don't let women tell you about how to be attractive. They have no idea. They don't know what make, they'll be like, I hate muscular guys, and then they'll post a dad bod. And then be like, this is what real men are. And then they're like, real men don't take selfies, and then they'll go on dating apps and fuck guys with good pictures. Right? And then they'll say, I like skinny guys, and they'll fuck guys that deadlift 405 or something. Or I like muscular guys, and they'll fuck like a guy with the rock star body, the thin rock star body. Women have no idea, right? So stop taking advice and stop letting yourself be shamed by them when when they don't understand what makes them attracted to you. It's silly, right? I'm giving you what works. This is not only me too. This is all these YouTube videos, my friends, guys on the internet. We've all want to win, right? We're not here for feelings of winning. We want to actually win. So we put this stuff out there. Please, for the love of God, don't listen to women on what makes you attractive. They will just confuse you. They will shame you, and they will call you everything. They'll make fun of your traits that you can't change. You're brown. Your nose is big. Your lips are too big. You're unattractive. Your voice pitch is too high. Your voice pitch is too low. Your your carsal tint, whatever the fuck that is too big. You look like a monkey. You look like this. You archetype is this. You look like celebrity I hate. Oh, the list goes on. The internet's full of these losers that constantly try to put you in a box and make you feel like you're worth less or are less attractive. They're full of people that don't put in effort or are losers at life or have lost with women or the opposite sex, and they want you, it's crabs in a bucket, right? And you'll take selfies and they'll be like, that's gay, but then guess what? That'll get you laid. So it's like, yeah, of course you don't like selfies because you suck at life, right? And you don't want anyone to put in effort. And this is one of the reasons, like, I hate when guys come to me and want to debate, like, the life you chose. I'm like, the life I chose, bro. You got married at 20. Being me is harder work than than people think, right? And I like it. I enjoy the grind, right? But like, you think it's easy to just put on muscle? That shit takes a long time. It's fun the process, but it's a long time, and you gotta like not be, you gotta not eat shit food, and you gotta be healthy. You learn to love it over time, but it's not. If it were easy, most people would do it, but it's not. Oh, you're taking selfies is stupid. I'm like, okay, well, I took selfies and 3 women in my Instagram liked it and gave it hearts, right? So that's the ultimate final message, right? Please, guys, promise me you will not listen to women on how to look smacks. Listen to guys that get it. Listen to guys that are not obsessed with that. Listen to guys who are like, yeah, game is most important, but like, why not work on your looks too, right? I think that Troy Francis says that a lot. Um, don't let yourself be psyched out. If you have a camera or an iPhone, play with it, learn it. Sit down. You have Grok everything about how to learn how to camera. That's what I did. In 3 days, I learned how to use my camera. I knew what everything was, and I started taking pictures. Right? Life's short, guys. There's a lot of young 23-year-old girls that are waiting for you to get your head out of your ass to get that right shave, that right look, so they can be like tee hee and put themselves in your orbit. So, so yeah. Um, yeah, that's all I got, guys. And you guys have a good night. Appreciate you guys watching. Super chats, appreciate you all. Dark Knight Dev, you were very generous today. I appreciate, man. I appreciate your money. Old student for becoming a member. Thank you, sir. Spot takes for your first super chat. Welcome to the channel, sir. But overall, you guys have a good night, and keep looking good. Stay handsome, my friends. So talk to you guys later.
I love you.